Rise and shine on Australia's Vision Christian Radio.
Emerson
Day,
God ain't finished yet. You're on Rise and Shine with Fel and
Matt in stereo. And joining us in the studio, we're being really professional because the boss has stepped in.
You can tell.
Andrew Robbo Robinson, how are you, my friend?
I was good up until about 30 seconds ago.
How's the teamwork going here? Are you rating us on teamwork?
Teamwork, that was not too bad, but yes. Anyway, we can work on that.
Firstly, can I say I'm loving the goatee, brother.
Oh, thank you.
It's looking very good.
Thank you.
For those who can't see Robbo, which is everyone listening right now, Robbo, you've got this grey tingy goatee.
It is like very grey.
The kind of Kenny Rogers kind of look going on there.
Okay, I haven't heard it described as Kenny Rogers, but someone at church on Sundays called it my winter growth. I thought I'm going to go with that. So
yes,
winter
good.
growth.
Well,
so
we'll all look forward to summertime.
keeping me warm.
But you're back in the country. We've been following your progress. Obviously, the biggest question for today is we gave you a lot of advice.
Mm-hmm.
The whole of the Vision family, Rise and Shine team, gave you advice about how to overcome jet lag.
Yes.
Did you use it? How are you?
I did use it, and it was actually very successful. I don't feel like I really suffered much jet lag at all.
Oh, well.
So, it was sort of like that mid-afternoon slump and then early evening. So, I didn't...
sounds like my everyday, actually.
Well, that's right. But early evenings, it would just like a fog would just come over, just like, vroom, I'm gone. You run out of puff real quick. So, so otherwise it was pretty good. I feel like I think I worked the system pretty well. So I was doing nighttime flights and so all that sort of stuff. I sleep pretty well on a plane, which is handy.
Now, we've had you on sharing some updates from the US, and it's been so good to follow you on the journey. Let's go through a few of the things that you went through.
Good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, I want to know, who did you interview and when can we use the audio from The Chosen?
Well, it can't be used just yet,
so
that's the one.
Come on.
You need to be a little bit patient,
You
unfortunately.
can talk to Jesus and sort this out, can't you?
That's
You know
right,
him now.
yes.
Yeah.
I've got right to the top. But yes, I did talk to Jesus. I talked to Mary Magdalene.
The actors, of course,
the
for those out there.
Was Big James and Andrew, and then Judas as well, which was cool. I have never spoken to Judas before.
Questions want to ask him.
So that was really good actually talking to him.
How did you go in with Judas? Do you go in straight to the tough questions? Are you nice to him?
It's like, what were you thinking? That was my first question. What were you thinking? So no, it was good. And actually, the Vision family were posing questions that they wanted to ask, so I was able to use some of those in the interviews as well. So, some people are going to be made famous. Kaz, I'm looking at you.
Okay, good.
But no, so it was a great time, really good opportunity. And, they were amazing because obviously they're filming the 5th season at the moment. Mm-hmm. So we were able to, tour the set and we saw some scenes being filmed. All this sort of thing. So it was just an incredible opportunity.
Yeah. I still remember when I interviewed one of the cast from The Chosen on Zoom earlier this year, and I said, "Is there any spoiler alerts?" And they said, "Well, Jesus is going to die. I'm just telling you."
Just in case you hadn't read that part.
That's right, exactly.
I think they get asked that question all the time, which is kind of awkward.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, so moving on, Ken Ham, what was it like interviewing him?
I'll tell you what, Ken was amazing. The whole Answers in Genesis team, they were so generous. I was, given all access to their facilities.
Yeah.
I got to go onto the top of the ark, which that's not public access. So up on the roof of the ark.
On the roof?
And,
is that safe as a mum?
The top deck.
I'm trying to be safer here now, thanks.
And I asked him, how did you get up there? He said, I know a guy.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Anyway.
I actually suggested a new idea to Ken. I said, have you ever done, because in Australia you do the bridge climb, you can do Sydney Harbour or the Story Bridge. I said, you could do ark climb. And his eyes lit up, he went like, I reckon we could do something fantastic.
Call it Robbo's ark climb.
I heard there was some video games there and they call it the Arcade. Is that right? No?
Well, kind of. They actually do.
How did you not get an invite there, Matt?
You would have been in your element. They have this VR, virtual reality experience.
Wow.
So you go in and you actually basically, experience the flood in VR. It's
Are you on the ark or are you one of the ones left behind?
No, you were one of being left behind actually. So you're seeing the ark and then it sort of floats off.
Wow.
But it's really good, and everything that they do, the gospel is just intertwined into it. So even in that, they're presenting the gospel message. It's like a 10 or 15-minute VR experience.
Wow.
But everything they do is just so gospel-infused. It's really very well done.
I was just thinking, in the VR flood experience, perfect time for an altar call straight after that.
That's right.
Just like when there's
Well,
turbulence on a plane.
on the way down,
Yeah.
put your hand up.
That's right. That's good. Well, fantastic. Well, we've got Robbo in the studio. We're going to ask him a bit more about his highlights. I want to ask him about all the yummy food he ate in the US because I know he went to a few of our favourite places. We're going to continue the conversation with Robbo here on Vision. And joining us in the studio is Andrew Robbo Robinson, fresh off the plane from the USA.
Yes.
And we understand that you made a mistake when you got home. You had a power nap.
Well, that's right. Yes. Well, we were talking about jet lag before. So Sunday afternoon, came out from church. I was feeling a bit sort of, worn out. And so I thought, I'll just have a short little nap here.
Oh, yeah. Rookie mistake.
I set an alarm because I thought I wanted to sleep through.
Okay, yeah.
So I set an alarm. That alarm may or may not have gone off. I do not know. But it was
out to it.
Another couple of hours later, I sort of came to life and thought, oh my goodness, where am I? What time is it? What day is it?
Yeah.
So, and then I thought, am I going to go back to sleep?
Yeah.
But I did. I slept really well that night. So it all worked out okay.
Because some of the advice was to follow your body.
Yes.
So maybe that was that piece of advice coming
be.
through as
Yes.
well. There you go.
Yeah.
Well done. Well,
Now-
looking great this morning.
Oh,
we
thank
did
you.
want to talk about the In-N-Out burgers that you had over
Yes.
there that had Bible verses on it.
Yeah.
That is so cool. What, were they tasty? Were they good?
It was actually a bit greasy, to be honest.
Oh,
Like, I
okay.
didn't want to say anything. 'Cause
Okay, right.
The pastor had taken me to In-N-Out. He said, "Oh, you got to go. You got to see this."
yeah.
So I was like, but it was actually. And if you see the photos which I posted, there's like grease dripping down my fingers out of this burger. I'm like, oh. So I said, look, you couldn't do this every day. Like, and some people probably do, but like maybe once a month or so. You might go to In-N-Out. But it's very popular, obviously, in California. But you're right. They've got John 3:16 on the bottom of their cups. They've got a proverb on the bottom of their containers for the burgers. So really amazing that those guys and Chick-fil-A are the two really prominent Christian businesses over there.
Yeah.
But they're doing an amazing work.
One thing that surprised me over there was you go into places like Hobby Lobby and even just, Barnes & Noble, there's actually Christian books, Christian cards, lots of Christian content in the shops there everywhere.
Exactly.
Which you wouldn't see in any shop in Australia.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more Christian-y stuff, products over there, isn't there?
Exactly, that's right, yeah. And people are certainly a lot more open to things of faith. Like they may not necessarily, like I chatted to Uber drivers and that sort of stuff. And so like, do you go to church? Like, they know about churches, but they don't necessarily go.
Yeah, it's interesting, huh?
What were some of the other places that you went on your great USA tour?
So it was pretty amazing. So obviously I had a couple of times in LA coming in and out. So I went to Jeff Vine's church on the first Sunday I was there. And then I caught up. I didn't go to Greg Laurie's church because it was midweek, but I caught up with his team on the way back through. And then obviously I was in Nashville. I've got my Nashville shirt on today.
Oh, you
very
do.
cool, yeah.
There's a big guitar in the middle.
One little bit of memorabilia from my trip.
Yeah.
But so I caught up with there's a couple of big networks over there which are similar to Vision. I always hesitate when I say that because like Vision there's lots more, repeaters here in Australia, but obviously the population over there is massive. So like, they've got a repeater in Dallas, which is like, millions of people there.
Yeah.
So but they're national networks effectively, K-Love and YFM. So I got to meet their teams and see the studios and find out what they're doing. And
Wally from YFM, one of the coolest radio announcers ever. I've sent a link to Fel to check out some of his interviews.
Yes.
He's very good interviewer. He does lots of fun stuff on his radio show, so we're going to steal some of his ideas. So Wally was pretty cool. Did you get to K-Love as well, did you?
Yes, I got to K-Love and YFM sort of one day after the other.
Yeah, great.
So it was really cool. So I got to meet Wally. He was amazing. He's like the US version of DJ, really. Like they both got the big beard. Yeah. Wally's got hair. DJ doesn't have hair, but they're quite similar actually, even in their personalities, which is quite unique. But great guy, and he was really friendly and happy to chat. So it was really good.
Very cool. And then you did send me a photo. You were stalking Toby Mac. You sent me a photo outside his house.
That's it. So I went to his house and just sort of walked past and then walked past again.
How did you know it was his house?
Well, one of the radio people told me. But even like the Uber driver that because I went, there's like a cafe across the road and they said, he often goes to this cafe. So I thought, I'm just going to go and hang out there for a couple of hours. You just never know.
You had your eye on it, hey, in case he turned up.
I did.
That's one of his songs, by the way, yeah.
Okay.
And he decided, no, move, just keep walking. Anyway, another one of it. Anyway.
Those jokes only work if you know the
That's
songs.
right, yeah.
Exactly.
But
even the Uber driver knew, like, because we were driving there, and he says, "Oh yeah, that's Toby Maxey." I said, "There." So he kind of knew, and he said, "Oh yeah, I've driven the newsboys to the airport. I've driven these people and these."
Oh,
people.
wow.
Because they all live around that same area.
Yeah,
so,
cool. Very good, mate. Very cool. Well, we're so excited to share those interviews from The Chosen, interviews from Ken Ham.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to share a bunch of those on Vision Radio at some stage.
Yep.
And if people do want to see some of the photos and the things, we put them in the Rise and Shine Facebook group.
That's
so
right.
You can join the group and you can check that out. And it's good to have you back, mate.
It's good to be back, and just very thankful for the opportunity to go. It's been a huge blessing, and just very thankful that God's led the way and made all those happy connections come together. So it's been
Hallelujah.
great.
Welcome back.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.